happy to be. I think I'm dying here, man.
Welcome to the 3B Video Deep Cut Podcast.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
Yo, it's fun.
Aw, yeah. It's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and
Evil Dead Inks. And you hear what he called me, boss? I ain't no chicken fucker.
well, I had thought about fucking me some chickens.
And you pop the head off and you just, ooh.
You stick your dick in a chicken and go, ah?
No, I think my dick in no chicken and go, ah. You ever stick your dick in a chicken? Well, two fire and two guns in the air and go, ah.
Hey, that's a Hot Fuzz reference combined with the Devil's Rejects reference. Well done early in the AMs, sir.
Yep, that's what I do. So, on to part 2, The Devil's Rejects, the exciting next chapter in the Firefly trilogy.
House of a Thousand Corpses Part Dukes.
It is leaps and bounds different from the movie we discussed 2 weeks ago. There's no inverted color palettes, slow motion sequences for reasons unknown other than climactic finishes. Otis he's gotten some sun. He's let his hair grow out. We lost a couple of people.
Yeah, lost in the shuffle.
We decided to go back and be reality based and not an actual like fever dream ending.
Or music video.
Yeah. There's an actual story here. It's not a pleasant story. It's not it's a stiff fucking drink, but it's a story. Probably, bar none, his best film.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you say this is leaps and bounds better than House of a Thousand Corpses? Like your opinion?
It's the most well made.
I will say, to me, this is a better film. This, you already said, probably Rob Zombie's best film. I put this movie on a pedestal. I really enjoy this movie. I was a massive hype beast of a fan when this movie came out. Everything from toys, shirts, soundtracks, big supporter of this movie.
How about the soundtrack? That's as far as I went, though. I did go see it in the theater, and I saw it in the theater with an ex who was not a fan of Rob Zombie films at all. So what
was that screening like for you?
Entertaining.
Yeah.
She actually,
just arms crossed.
No, she fell for what he was going for at the end of this movie. She was feeling sympathy for the rejects when they're getting stapled pictures to them.
It's a weird line this movie walks, and I think this is the best example for Rob Zombie. Obviously, I said this is his best film, but he does a very good job of creating gray area characters. Even if you're supposed to be a good person, like Sheriff Wydell, he has bad things about him. Everyone kind of,
he's crazy,
and they walk this weird white trash, whatever, this weird line where
filthy.
Yeah,
nasty.
They could be bad and they can be good. Like, you got the bounty hunters. They're obviously, they're just criminals.
Former wrestler DDP and Danny Trejo.
They are fantastic. Look who's talking, Rondo.
What a contrast, dude. 5'0" actual guys, probably hardened by nails, Danny Trejo, and then the oldest rookie wrestler in wrestling history, Diamond Dallas Page, who's, I think he's 6'4", 6'5" yoga guy.
Yeah, big dude. Let me say this too. We got a glimpse. Obviously, when a wrestler is doing their thing in wrestling, they have their mic skills. They have the things they do. They cut the promos. They do all of this stuff. We got a glimpse into what Diamond Dallas Page is. That's not his real name. Dallas Page is not his real name.
No.
So, like, but we got a glimpse into what he was capable of cutting promos, and then he did, Ready to Rumble, and he plays he's basically just doing a higher budget wrestling promo.
That would have been a great if that was the interview process. As Rob Zombie's like, I saw you working Ready to Rumble. Excellent shit.
Yeah,
would you like to be
hired.
a bounty hunter for my next movie?
But don't you feel like he's kind of a natural? I feel like a lot of wrestlers can transition into acting very well. I mean, obviously, like when you're Hulk Hogan, you're just Hulk Hogan.
He's
so
just
like you're
Hulk
not a
Hogan
great
all the
actor,
time.
but you're just Hulk Hogan. But
I say it's a mix. It's a mixed bag. Like Hogan can't do it. He's Hulk Hogan every time. The Rock, I mean, does good cinema, but he's The Rock in everything.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like our new Arnold Schwarzenegger, essentially.
Yeah.
Cena is okay.
He's still kind of. I haven't seen enough that I can make a judgment on John Cena. I would give Dave. I think Dave Bautista's done it best.
Yeah, he's good.
He's the most like I forget that he was a wrestler in his bits, and I think he's got the best range. And
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, so DDP. He's okay.
Yeah,
I
think he does good.
I'm glad
for
he's not doing any wrestling moves. That's always like the first thing. Like, do they have to do one of their fucking moves in it? Cool, let's get a pop out of me, but it feels like that. Do the line, Bart. You know why you're fucking here. Do the thing you do here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I also think, because we talked about this 2 weeks ago, Kane Hodder was the fight choreographer / stunt coordinator.
He should have been one of the bounty
in
hunters.
this movie. And, well, but the thing is, if you watch that making of Devil's Rejects, they have like a big, long interview with him talking about the scene when Otis kills the Banjo and Sullivan guys, like when they're out digging up the guns.
Yeah.
That whole fight scene originally was supposed to have like all this crazy, punches and kicks and all this wild stuff. And Kane, they rehearsed it, and then he was like, you know what? Like, it doesn't like feel gritty, doesn't feel real. Let's strip all that away, and let's make it like you're fighting for your life. Crotch shots, biting, like choking,
Legitimate.
The kind of things that feel truly violent. And this movie definitely benefits with having Kane be behind all of that stuff, because you don't get those like, oh, he got him with the diamond cutter, he scoop slammed him, power bomb, baby. Like, you're going to get Bill Moseley thrown through a window.
My God,
like,
he's got the
closest.
he's got the steel chair. The man's got a family.
Breaking out the staple gun. It's a hardcore fucking death.
Will someone stop the damn movie? Enough's enough.
Do you ever feel like that throughout this movie? Like, does it ever? It does hit some like Last House on the Left. Almost I Spit on Your Grave. Like, ooh, we're about to cross some lines. Does it ever like hit your like moral compass where you're like, no, enough's enough?
Yeah, I would say the entire motel room kind of sequence, like all that's like, I could really pass on that. You could just probably cut that out of the movie. Like,
dang.
Gratuitous, yes. Does it strike a chord and an emotion? Is he getting what probably he's going for? Sure, but like, it really clouds the entire movie. So even when I think of Devil's Rejects, instantly that's where my mind is going, is a gun in a lady's panties.
See, and I know Bill Moseley had a hard time shooting that, because that was like 3 or 4 days, that hotel sequence, like of them shooting, and he was really bothered by it. And I think there's like a famous quote Rob Zombie said, like, if art doesn't bother you, it's not doing its job, and something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing, but I feel like that sequence is important in the movie, because at that point in the movie, what we've gotten is they're on the run from the law. We've gotten Sid Haig having his like dream sequence with Ginger Lynn.
Great.
And then, heading out to meet them at the Tahiti Palms Hotel or whatever it's called. But like the amount of violence that we've received thus far is not like heavy enough. They kill the lady, steal her car. Sid Haig headbutts the lady, steals her car, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's very standard violence, and we really, really needed, like, to sit down in their roles of, like, their whole house is filled with thousands of corpses. They have scrapbooks of things they've done, like, all these nasty, violent things, women in cages, and, like... And we like are forgetting that because we're having fun because it becomes a road movie. So we gotta like stick our feet in the sand and go, no, these guys are fucking terrible. We're like, oh, you like Banjo and Sullivan? You like how fun these people are? You like their dynamic? You like what they're doing? Well, it'd be a shame if someone were to fucking massacre them like 70s exploitation style, like pulling their tits out and like just being filthy, you know? And it kind of like whoop puts you back in the moment, at least for me.
Yeah, I don't necessarily need it. I'll give you this much. I do like how the one dude who's really kind of shit talking the newscast report on the rejects, really talking tough, like, they come in here, I'd fuck them up 3 ways from Sunday. And then this goes then this goes full bitch mode when it actually they're at the front door. They didn't hear him talking shit about them. It's just their natural, like, we're here to fuck shit up. And he's just in the fetal position, and his woman has to be comforting him. So like that, I'll give it. I like that's a good, probably more true than not characteristic of these all these tough talking guys when they're actually really confronted. They don't have anything except their hands with some skin on it to defend themselves.
Yeah, they're in the shit, and then the fight or flight mode. It's very. They keep it very grounded in reality in this movie, which is something that I truly appreciate. I know you've seen it, and I bring it up time and time again. Another perfect example of that for me is Green Room. The violence in Green Room, it's so like unflinching, unforgiving. There's this, they're gonna make this grand escape. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen Green Room. Like, they're holed up and they're gonna try and make an escape. And it doesn't give you what a typical like action movie would give you of like, oh, and here's a couple set pieces, a couple scraps, they're going to go down or out on their shield type of deal. It's like, no, as soon as you step out of that room, the guys with the knives and the guns kill you. They have the upper hand. Like, it doesn't matter if we're watching your story can be cut short. And that's what I really like about Devil's Rejects.
But I'm the hero of this story.
Nope, that does not compute, man. And I love that, like, just unflinching, I don't give a fuck who you're rooting for attitude when it comes to making movies.
I always forget that the bounty hunters just kind of show up, do their thing, and then they just fuck off. They just leave. And I'm like, I always like, what happened to, oh shit, they just did their job and left. Like, they get away unscathed. That's weird to me, because even rewatching every time, I'm like, I can't wait to see when they get their final battle with the rejects. And then that doesn't fucking happen. They just kind of throw Otis through a window, pull baby out of the tub nude, and they're like, all right, pay us, fucker, our job's done. Yep, you got Sid cornered there.
Yep, I love that scene too. You're gonna start the killing. You better start it right here. Make sure I'm all the way dead though. That's some tough shit. This movie is
there's what I would
extremely quotable.
That's what I would like more of. Cut 98% of the hotel room. Just extend the fucking scenes with Ken Foray and Sid Haig just talking like, I love you, man. I love my cocaine more.
Everybody in this movie has such a wonderful dynamic. And I know we talked about it 2 weeks ago about all the people from this movie we've met. They're all amazing, and having them in this movie, it's a giant film family. It's very similar to the Adam Green movies, how we talk about like he works with people he loves. And you got Rob Zombie, and he's just got everybody that's fun, and he's doing all these weird reference throwbacks to these other crazy movies that he loves, but like everybody's having so much fun, and the subject matter is pretty rough, which somehow like translates to me watching this movie, laughing and having a good time, even though there's stuff like that hotel sequence. And that's a tough thing to pull off. And that's where I don't know, man, because I want to be like, it's not a fluke, right? Like, he's a very talented director. That movie is close to perfect. And then we get the other Rob Zombie movies. So it's hard. It's hard for me when I watch that movie to go like, man, this is so good. Why?
What happened?
Why is this? Yeah, why is this so perfect? And then why is everything else kind of just feel like you had like a room full of people going, do the Rob Zombie thing. Be more Rob Zombie. Can you Rob Zombie up that Rob Zombie movie? Like,
can you bring these 3 characters back that you clearly killed the shit out of at the end of this movie?
Yeah. And let me say this. We met the majority of this cast in 2013, my first convention, my first time meeting you. And did you sit in on that Devil's Rejects panel?
I did not, although it's weird that somebody had posted them on the YouTube. Both that one and the other time they were both in town. Like the last time Sid was in town, someone posted that panel as well, but I didn't make it into I think I stepped in for a hot minute and then I was out.
Because it was in the like the lunchroom or whatever the hell you want to call it, the banquet hall.
The calf.
Yeah, the cafeteria. But there's like a famous part, at least it's famous to me because I was sitting in that room. Someone in the crowd had asked Sid, hey, like, when are you guys coming back? Like, when are the Devil's Rejects coming back? And in that Q&A, he said, we can't come back. Do you know why? And then everybody on the panel went, because we're fucking dead. Like, they chanted it. In 2013, Sid Haig, because we're fucking dead. And then you fast forward to like 2020 or whatever year that was. And then
you get
like,
the sensation they've been asked that a time or two.
Yeah, like, they are clearly... I mean, when you saw this in theaters, when you're sitting there and they're playing Freebird and...
The whole goddamn song, too.
Yeah, the conclusion to the Firefly clan is happening in your face. When the lights came on and you walked out of the theater, did you go, I think they'll be okay? You know what I mean? Like, they're fucking dead, dude.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, they're dead. They're dead. They're all messed up.
There's Swiss cheese on the fucking mountainside highway.
I didn't have any question that that's the end of the story. And again, that's probably his best shot in this movie. That's second best for me. Oddly enough, my favorite sequence in the movie, and it's not a knock, even though it sounds like it might be. It's the end credits. Even though it's just a helicopter shot just down all these desert roads.
It's real good.
It's fantastic, and I love the song he chose for his end credits, "Seed of Memory." That's my favorite on the whole soundtrack. I still have that one on playlist today. Everything about this is just fantastic. I could just watch that shit on a loop.
Yeah, like a 10-hour loop on YouTube.
Yeah, and it sounds sarcastic, but I was like, no, like, what's your favorite part of the Devil's Rejects? Like the end credits.
Right. It does sound like, fuck that movie,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean. It's beautiful, and that's
It
the
is.
thing, right? There's a lot of stuff. I can't remember. I want to say B.J. McDonnell, who also directed Hatchet 3, I want to say he was one of Rob Zombie's camera guys. I could be completely wrong. I know B.J. worked on Rob Zombie's Halloween, but I feel like B.J. had something to do with the cinematography in this movie. Could be wrong. Someone out there will let me know. But there are a lot of shots in this movie where there's clearly a talented person behind the camera. You know what I mean? Like there's clever use of depth of field. There's clever use of color and like staging. Everything is done beautifully, which like seems like an afterthought. Like when you watch those 70s exploitation films, they're basically like run and gun, like a dude with a camera just, did you get it? Yeah, I think so. Whatever.
We don't have permits to film here. Get it done quick.
Right.
Fire that gun in this crowd, and then let's get in the fucking van and go.
It manages to nail that aesthetic, but also like be calculated. and look really good. Like I told you before, like when we shot Tapehead and we had the fight between Tapehead and the cop, that whole time I said, you know, make it more Rob Zombie. It's got to be like handheld. It's got to be kind of jarring. That helps kind of sell that violence, especially if you have like very like average stunt work, like punches or kicks or choking. Like if the camera is shaking, it adds something. It like connects with the viewer, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna say not that it's related to that, but another shot that looks really good just because it's so far pulled back is the 18-wheeler scene.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Which we've seen a good number of people by this point just smashed by heavy machinery at high speeds. This one I feel really hits the realistic aspect of it, as in it looks like a country mile of just entrails that this goes and goes and goes. We've seen the Final Destination girl get plowed by a truck. Fucking dude, the dude from Bride of Chucky just get annihilated. Oh. Hilarious. This one's kind of funny too, but it does feel the most real. Mm-hmm. Nothing about it feels dummy-like, which is odd.
The exact opposite would be like when we covered the Pet Sematary franchise, and there's still enough of Gage to dig up and resurrect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Gage has like a little 2-inch stitching on his forehead.
Bullshit, man. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing left of this woman when she's hit by this truck. Mm-hmm. And it's just out of nowhere. Good. Like she's just blinded with this skin mask on. She's just kind of running in hysterics, and then you're like, but she's out. She better look out. She's in the middle of the street. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, at least she's out of her misery.
She better look both ways, yeah.
It's almost a mercy kill. Like,
yeah.
She's never gonna. She will not financially recover from this.
If she had survived, she would have been in a mental institution for sure. Like she had cracked.
Yeah, sharing a bunk with the chick from Friday the 13th, Part 3.
Yeah, completely lost it. Yeah, so we leave the hotel, and that's when we head on over to the
Ken Foray's whorehouse.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, like
USA.
Whore town.
Ken Foray's Island Paradise.
Yeah.
With his, he's got 2-3 women working there?
The 2 that are in that main house, but I feel like we see more when we get that establishing shot. We see some women walking back and forth with some Johns, you know, but like the 2 main, one of them being E.G. Daily, they're like the most centric to the plot. But Ken Foree.
And this makes me laugh because like when the bounty hunters show up and our rejects are hanging with the ladies, the slow motion kill from DDP to Daly, just that they cut back to his face and he just has this ha 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 ha.
He's just laughing, yeah.
But not like hysterical laughing, not like chuckling. This just weird as shit. Ha 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 ha.
I'm glad that it is a slow motion scene though, because it
looks cool, but his laugh is fucking weird.
It's bizarre, because in that making of, they show them filming that scene, and you know it had dialogue and it has all this stuff, but by removing all that dialogue, here we are, we're talking about Rob Zombie not making a music video this time, but there are a couple of like music montage sequences in this movie.
Montages are fine. It lasts 30 seconds, a minute. That's fine. When it lasts 90 minutes of your 92-minute film, then it's a problem.
Yeah, it becomes very problematic. It's very distracting. And in this movie, he definitely pulls back on that and does that just occasionally. But the other good thing about Rob Zombie is he's very conscious in his music choices. So
yeah,
they become iconic. Like you're talking about, you love that end credits, right? Like because he is a guy who comes from a music video background, making music and all that hooplery. So he's very good with visuals with songs. So I can imagine when he's writing a script and he's thinking this through, that he's already picking out songs that feel proper.
He's the horror shock cinema version of James Gunn.
Yeah, or Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright is also very good at like.
Rob Zombie will take the bronze of those three.
Yeah, and that's not a bad. That's not a bad prize because like I said, there's really good music cues in this movie that kind of amplify those scenes, and I feel like if that scene had played out in regular speed with dialogue and just a score, probably wouldn't have been as awesome. With that seasons change and whatever, and getting thrown through the window, and
it takes it down slightly because the gunshots, just like the ones that are in the end sequence, also in slow motion, like very CG gunshots, which, like I always say, those depreciate in value the second you drive it off the lot. So
yeah, they're like drag and drop, just like effects plates.
We can do better ones today with the minimum equipment we have now.
For sure. And that really is about that and the fire in the end sequence. They're the things that age this film. They're the things when you watch this film you go, it looks about like 2005, 2004, 2005 ability. That fire is pretty fucking rough. Sometimes it looks good, but 99% of the time you're like, wow.
And that's just, speaking of that fire, that makes me think of Tiny, which we have Tiny open in the movie, which I know that was a rough sequence for the woman he's just dragging nude through the woods. But
twigs up the butt and everything else.
He just hangs out at the house. He never leaves. And his whole goal in this movie is he just snaps Wydell's neck when he's in his rampage mode at the very end. And then the weirdest shit, he just is like, we missed the conversation, I guess, where he's like, I'm going to go back in the house and just hang out. And then,
I belong here.
Yeah, and Otis is like, we'll come back for you. Like, what? When? Why?
Tomorrow.
How? And he just goes in and the house blows up. I'm just assuming because they've got to kill all the remaining family members we have left, because we don't have Grandpa. He actually did die in real life before they got to film it. We lost our muscle man. He
gets killed at the beginning, which we didn't bring. That whole opening is chef's kiss, baby. It's real good.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. We get the justice we didn't get at the end of the last movie that we were wanting. We have Leslie Easterbrook in the Karen Black role. She gets she gets arrested.
Abducted.
Kind of abducted. She gets thrown into like this makeshift cell that looks like it's like half a library or storage facility that just has rails over it.
X-Files theme.
Yeah, it feels like Mulder has files of shit down there where they have her just kept away. And eventually, Wydell goes down there and just stabs her.
Just like fucks her with his knife, essentially. I mean, it's weirdly like sexual and violent at the same time.
No, she is a lady of the evening. Has the reputation of it, so sure.
True, yeah. It feels very filthy, I guess. It's
the licking of the teeth that she does. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty gnarly.
All right. We've had a few weird scenes that I pulled out. The weirdest scene in the movie that will definitely, I'll say this a lot when we get to the next film. I'm like, why is this here? I don't get this at all. The film critic sequence.
Oh, get that Hollywood loving pussy out of my face. Elvis was in Hollywood.
This has to only be here because he wants to actually bitch out a film critic on film. That's all
Maybe.
I could potentially think. Because what is the reason for it?
What's all the
Otherwise.
deep cuts from the aliases, I guess. So he
But
kind
that
of
doesn't
wanted to
go anywhere either. He gets the like their aliases from this. Like, all right, what do we do with that? You know, it's the same shit as Freddy died by fire, Jason by water. How do we use that? We don't use that.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we say
that's how they figure out that they're going to be with Ken Foree, because Ken Foree's name is one of those characters' names. So
I'm sure if they just
kind of,
I'm sure if they just keep flipping through that fucking photo album, I'm sure they'll find
They would've
photos
found it.
of him in there. Guaranteed
Right.
Ken Foree is in there doing some like wobbly H shit with Sid Haig and a couple of those pictures.
I just feel like it is like a small amount of exposition, but like if for anything else, I think it's for Rob Zombie to tell the audience,
I hate critics.
you guys are like obsessed with Captain Spaulding and Otis Driftwood and whatever, but you don't know shit about Groucho.
He's trying to.
You know what I mean? It's kind of him being like, I got it from this, you fucking goons. Like,
You think he's trying to flex his cinematic like knowledge?
maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a slight ego stroke. Like, I'm clever, and I'm gonna like, and you know,
I'm
this
clever,
is why I'm
damn it.
clever. Yeah, so give me the credit I deserve. Maybe just a little bit of an ego stroke for himself.
It's
know?
a lot of one. When you have to point it out, it kills the meaning of doing it. You should just be able
So
to
that's-
sit
I've
on
always
your.
kinda thought that, but-
Should be able to sit on your silence there and go. Those who know. Those who don't.
Yeah, we'll see if they figure it out. Yeah.
But no, he's like, God damn it, they have to know.
There are things that you and I have been sitting on for 5+ years of deep cuts that we've said, and then we've never spelled them out for anyone because we're like, eventually someone's gonna like get that.
Because we're not Rob Zombie. He's like, I can't do it subtly. I got to beat the fucking shit over your head. I gotta rub it in your face. God.
So that's why we need to see the Munsters, even though I'm not looking forward to it, because
We'll save that
we
for
have to see.
a first time showing. We'll just make that a one of the YouTube videos. We'll do a live commentary first time watching.
Oh boy,
Oh yeah.
I just got to see if he can do a film without doing what you're saying, like beating you over the head with his references and whatnot, because for this movie and for because he's so obsessed with those 70s exploitation films and that violent, gritty.
It's his era. It's what he knows. So I mean, I can't fault him for that. Even though I kind of still do. Like, what 70s trash are you going to be unearthing on this new movie, Rob?
Right? Yeah, just kind of his well.
Yeah,
he's just gonna go back to it.
I guess they would probably do the same shit for us. They're like, oh, something else from the 80s with synth, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wedding in Hawaii. Real original.
Yeah. Oh, you guys like blue and pink and synthwave?
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. Stranger Things ripoff. Like, we've been doing this before that was a thing.
I still haven't watched any of that.
I've seen some.
I watched
But,
one
like,
episode and then I was like, all right.
For the time my daughter was watching Stranger Things, boy, the 80s was the coolest. She had to dress
Still
like
is.
that and everything, and now it's like, oh, that's so old. Like, that was 5 years ago style. Like, no, that was about 40. And we just hang on to it because we like it. So
Yep.
we didn't need a TV show to remind us that we like the 80s.
Yeah. Even the youngest tried watching Stranger Things. I don't think she finished the first season. I think she did a couple episodes because she just got into D&D, and she knew there's an aspect of that show. So it didn't even keep her interest for very long.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We have some listeners who have, finished it all the way through. Snarls, Dylan, who plays Tapehead, is a massive Stranger Things fan. So he's tried to sell me on it multiple times. I don't have Netflix, so I would have to buy them all. And
That's how we got the
That's-
first, I think, 2 seasons is on disc. I don't think I've even seen the other ones put out on disc yet. So I don't even know if they're all available yet, or if they're done, or if it's still going. I don't know shit.
don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Honestly, don't really care. It's kind of how I was with Walking Dead. Eventually, I just said, you can do whatever you want. I'm not watching.
Yeah, I got that with the Walking Dead. It definitely hit me with the Marvel movies. I think with the second Avengers movie, seeing it in the theater, at that point, I was on board with everything. And then they were literally doing shit that was involving the show, like a TV show they were doing, like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I have to watch the show to know. I was like, I gotta step out. Mm-hmm. I gotta go back to ultra casual. I can't go moderate on this anymore. It's too much work.
I was done around, I don't know, Ant-Man maybe. Like there was a point, and I was just like, you guys go ahead and go without me. I'm good. I'm
not gonna follow bit by bit by bit. I'm just gonna pick and choose here and there spots.
Mm-hmm. Hither and thither. Man, I'm trying to think. We covered the opening, which is probably like one of the best openings.
Getting great use of Midnight Rider. Great double there with the like freeze frame shots here and there of telling the story. The very ultra 70s, title screen reminds me a lot of From Dusk Till Dawn as well.
Oh yeah,
really going for that aesthetic. We have more Sid. It's always a good sign. We have the power struggle between him and Otis.
Yeah,
and Baby is just kind of jumping around, instigating between the two. We get the Tutti fucking Fruity, which I think that's probably another thing that's a big cultural impact from this, is not being able to say Tutti without fucking Fruity.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that became like, it's everywhere. There are shirts, yada yada. Like, I think our very first autograph from Sid that my wife got says Tutti fucking Fruity. Like, of course. Like, I don't even think I talked to him about the movies. I just talked to him because I was like, I didn't want to be like, I'm not really a huge fan of the movies, but I love your work in them at least. Mm-hmm. I know we talked about being a licensed hypnotherapist, and all of his like side gigs and things that he was doing. I did get the picture of him like doing the double flip from the first movie when he's getting held up at gunpoint. Which I could have done. I could have used more of that. I could use more him in clown makeup in this movie. We get some, but not enough. Yeah, it's very reserved. Like, we have the Captain Spaulding's TV commercial where he's, in full garb or whatever, and then
his sex scene is fantastic.
Oh, it's real good. You totally see Sid's balls, man, 100%. Those are his balls.
Dreaming he's with a lovely lady of the evening. And then when he comes to, he's got his regular everyday woman. Like, how didn't you get enough last night? Dick still hurts.
Spastic mongoloid geek. But yeah, going back to meeting Sid, I'm pretty sure I talked to him about the. There was like a Vietnam movie he did in the 70s, and like he kept having to like come out of the water, and then he'd like pull out this pouch, and he had to snort a rail of coke. And he was talking about how, obviously he wasn't snorting coke, but he was snorting crushed up B12.
Oh, I was gonna say it's powdered
and they
sugar.
Did that like
it's delicious.
They did it like 10 times.
Ah.
And then after, he's like, I'm in cold water, like cold, but my legs are like hot. Like, I'm starting to feel hot. Because he was taking so much B12, like concentrated B12.
He's got that predator blood piss probably for months.
Yep. That's B complex. I think regular B12, your pee is fairly normal, but B complex, yeah, your piss is like scary.
It's worrisome to other people who happen to see it, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, no,
you dribble on the toilet seat and it looks like fucking radioactive waste.
Doot, 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 doot. What the hell is that?
One yellow motherfucker. But if anybody listening has not taken B complex, go buy some. I mean, it's really good for you. But I
love taking that, especially if I
marvel.
Yeah, especially on like weekends where I've got to be up a lot and moving around. Like it definitely gives me an extra a tidbit of boost that I would rather take over an energy drink anytime. we're talking about meeting Sid. I didn't talk to Bill Moseley either a great deal. I think I was with the wife, and she did most of the interactions when we went to meet him. But another guy who's 180 degrees different than any character that he plays in these movies. He's just a quiet, well-educated, just soft-spoken guy. And I think we talked to him about his his college days or something. I don't remember exactly, but boy, you couldn't find a further guy than what he portrays in the cinemas.
No, he's insanely intelligent. He's a very well-read, super cool dude. And then you look at him in movies and he's so chop top, and then his his Corn Bugs, his punk band with Buckethead, is crazy batshit insane music, and then you meet him and he's just super chill. He collects latex masks. He has an extensive mask collection. He Instagrams that shit all the time of new ones that he's got. Then he brings some of those to Adam Green's Scary Sleepover. Yeah. These some of my favorites. He's a quirky dude who's a dad, a husband, a guy who rakes his lawn. He's just a normal, super cool dude. And that, I think, because that was my first convention, 2013, and we've brought this up a few times. After a while, when you're going to these conventions and you see people just freak out on these guys, oh man, this dude, chop top,
definitely saw that happen, yeah.
And then you get a glimpse of their real personality. You're boy, you obviously you like meeting fans and stuff, but there's so much more to these people that it's almost, to me, feels shitty to go up to them and be bro, Night of the Living Dead 90, whoop-de-doo. How about I don't know, any other topic of discussion? I don't know, it feels so weird to me.
Yeah.
Now, after being, when we met Leslie Easterbrook for the second time at that
at the Slash and Bash, and just talked to her about life, because I was trying to break into working on film sets, and we just talked about getting into the industry and things like that, and just have sweet, normal conversations with people. And it just felt so much better, you leave being I could sit down at a table and have a glass of iced tea with her, and I could,
I mean,
I could, but I definitely was telling her I loved you in Police Academies. And then she's in another, I can't remember the name of the other movie, I think for a Fraternity Vacation, something like that, where she literally has some scenes where she is just wearing this nightie. It's a head to toe nightie, but it's about onion skin thin. So I've seen everything from Miss Easterbrook, and it's fantastic.
Is that in the Discord?
Might be. Ain't gonna be hard to find.
Put it in there. Yeah, man. And all of that, we talked about when we talked about Texas Chainsaw 3D, makes you appreciate a movie a little more when you can have these kind of down to earth interactions with these people. And again, I was a massive geek for this movie to begin with, but after meeting everybody, and when you rewatch it, you just kind of feel like a fly on the wall, like you're not really watching the movie, you're watching them make the movie. You know what I mean? You just kind of have that extra.
Yeah, the glimpse behind the curtain.
Yeah, you had been standing by the camera while the scenes were going on, and it's fun. It's more fun after you've had those types of interactions, for sure.
Yeah, it had some layers to it that you'll enjoy it on that aspect. Although it's still not one I get to too often, but of course this is very much an after 9 p.m. movie as well, so even if I wanted to, I can't.
It's a stiff drink of a movie,
cool.
No matter what.
It's an Everclear shot of a movie.
Yeah, it's hardcore, and again, even though you said the ending, you love how that ends and the way it plays out and everything, but it's still kind of a downer of an ending, even if they're the bad guys. Like when you get done with the movie,
Yeah.
almost every time I'm happy. I'm like, woo, yeah, that was fun. And then I'm like, but now like I'm also sad. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, they're dead.
Yeah.
And that riddled 3 corpses in that car just probably plowed right into those parked cop cars too. So it's probably explosions galore and blood and armpits hanging from trees and just a mess.
Goes like through the guardrail and then like down the mountain, just rolling and exploding.
Exploding mid-fall too. Like doesn't hit anything and explodes mid-fall.
O'Doyle rules. O'Doyle.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I guess we really didn't cover like William Forsythe too much. Just a smidge. Like
he's William Forsythe. He kind of, not that he's not in a bad way, but he kind of is the same in most movies he's in. He has the same kind of inflection, sound, and he always slicks his hair back too, which is even stranger. He's the same in Deuce Bigalow as he is as in this and in The Rock. Like he's just the same guy, but he's great. And what a weird quirky guy he is in real life too.
He is a very
He dresses like
strange,
a hobo.
Yeah, he really, like cut off sweatpants and like a vest. And
Like if you didn't if you didn't know he was in for a convention in town, you would think a homeless guy just wandered into the fucking hotel room. You're like, get out of here before I call the police. You're like,
Get out of here, cracky. Yeah.
get the hose on him.
Long, stringy gray hair, like a plain black stocking hat, fucking half broken flip flops. Like
With that, like,
who are you?
That Marty McFly vest in the middle of summer too. It's mid-July in the Midwest. It's 100 degrees outside.
Not to mention he drove up to that convention in a fucking semi without a trailer, like just a
Like he just bummed a ride there.
like pulled up in that white little semi, and I'm like, that's William Forsythe. And my wife's like, that's a trucker. You fucking retarded. I'm like, no, that's
It wouldn't have shocked me any less if he rolled up on a unicycle.
right. Like a hamster ball.
Yeah, like he's just a strange feller. And he was hanging out in the bar all weekend. There's plenty of photos of that was also the year I got married at that convention, so there's photos with the wife, him and Ken Foray just hanging out, and it was like, it makes it seem like we lived the coolest fucking lifestyle
Right.
for those 3 days.
And see, that's where we got spoiled, because that was our first convention.
Oh.
And then, like I said, he pulls up in that semi and then like walks up carrying a case of water, and we just shoot the shit with him. And then like 2 hours later, we're in the bar, he's in the bar, and he's like, what are you drinking? And I'm like, Sprite. He's like, get this man all the Sprite he can drink. He like was buying me Sprite, and then we're playing pool together, and I'm like, this is
Sprite you can drink.
I'm like, this is the coolest fucking thing that's ever happened to me. I'm playing pool with fucking William Forsythe. He's been killed by Steven Seagal.
Dude.
You know, like, yeah, it's just the craziest shit ever. And
Been chasing that dream ever since.
we really have. It's like when the first time you get high on heroin, right? What do they call that? Chasing the dragon or whatever. Like,
Living on the edge of a lightning bolt.
right? You can't get that feeling again, no matter how much heroin you do.
I mean,
I don't know.
I literally
I've never
had that
done
the other day because as of this recording, the new Ghostbusters trailer has dropped, and I'm like, and then the biggest pop for me in the whole movie is like, Ernie Hudson, that guy was in my wedding party.
Sidebar, that looks fun.
It does look fun.
I'm okay. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
I seen a couple of folks that posted about it, and they're like, I don't know about this, Wayne. I was like, this looks fine. This looks fun. I think this might be more fun than the Afterlife was.
Just, get over yourself and be happy we got another Ghostbusters movie. That's, I was like that when we got the female Ghostbusters, and that's not a popular opinion. I mean, that ain't a great movie, but it's fun for what it is.
I didn't have an opinion about it, and then, I watched it with you, and I was like, this is fine.
Yeah, it's fine for what it is. It's just a spin-off Ghostbusters, and you just deal with it. Like, they got proton packs, they got an Ecto-1, close enough. Like, you know what I mean? That's whatever. So, I'm with this one. I'm ready.
Yeah, and no idea what Rob Zombie will have next for us. Who knows?
Rob Zombie's Ghostbusters.
Shit, he may go back to this well yet again, even though he's just got 2 of the 3 rejects now, but shit.
Gets a divorce, only has Otis, just makes the Otis movie.
I mean, he did just move Richard Brake into that role in the next movie, so he could just go down that route. Not like Richard Brake has a whole lot going on at the moment that I know of, so never say
Sidebar.
never, I guess.
I know we'll talk a lot more about Richard Brake in 2 weeks when we cover the next entry, but sidebar on him. That dude is fucking talented. I really and I had zero interest in meeting him. He was at the convention.
Yeah.
And
The wife
I
was
had
interested.
Zero interest.
Him and
me.
Jeff Daniel Phillips. She was super into Jeff Daniel Phillips. Both those guys, I was like,
Yeah,
I'll walk with you.
Did not even look at Richard Brake, and then after that, really watched 31, and I was like, I don't really care for this movie, but
he's good.
He is fucking awesome, and he reminds me a lot of Anthony. So
he very much takes the role of Sid Egg over for the third movie. Well,
yeah, and man, yeah, you and I both, we have to revisit that, and
our second watching officially. I'm interested to see.
I'm interested, but I'm also not
Psyched.
excited.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember I was just like, what? I'm not having a great time.
I remember just one thing, and it was a hang up, and I'm sure it'll still be a hang up, but we'll see.
I know what it is too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose we've rambled and we've gone off track a few times and came back.
What else is new?
Right, that's just how we do things. But now that we're done babbling about what we like and dislike about the movie Evil, what does that mean?
It's time to go all in on the negative sides with the Amazon 1-star reviews.
Hated it.
Slow Hand, December 4th, 2021, 1-star, horrendous. OMG. Thank goodness it was free. Guess they can't get people to pay for it.
Why do I got to pay for a movie from 2005?
The next paragraph really is different. That throws me. Watch Wuthering Heights from 1938. To Kill a Mockingbird. Babe. Arrested Development. West Side Story. The best of the best horror movies. The Haunting from 1963. Fantastic. Primo. Scary.
What?
It's the descent into madness. Yeah. Wuthering Heights. To Kill a Mockingbird. Babe. Arrested Development.
Yeah, the TV series. We're all over the place, man. He's just looking at you may also like down at the bottom.
Yeah, that dude just has a dartboard of just every movie probably made in just Mockingbird. Oh, Arrested Development and Babe.
What the fuck? Yeah, Babe, sure. As in the talking pig movie Babe.
I don't know any other Babe, so it
I also don't, so.
Has to be. Dave Stultz, not to be confused with Dave Schultz. Slap Heard Around the World, Dave Schultz, February 9th, 2015, 1-star, worse than Geely.
Whoa.
I was astounded at how horrible this movie was, dumbfounded as to why anyone with any shred of sense would fund it, and constantly astounded as I experienced the movie get worse and worse. The writing is atrocious. The worst hack writer injected with a bucket full of Thorazine would have done a far better job.
Thorazine.
The characters were flat and boring. Yes, very good. They are creepy and evil and sadistic, but there's nothing compelling or interesting about them. If you could give this movie a negative rating, I would. Do yourself a favor and take a melon scooper to your eyeballs before you accidentally exposed to this monstrosity.
Good God, that dude is angry.
Very angry. I've seen most of Geely. Not terrible. I'm just
Is that Kevin Smith?
No. That's
He did
Jersey Girl.
Okay.
Geely is just the in the height of Benifer. It was Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez. He's a wise guy, I think. I've just seen bits and pieces of it, and I'm like, nothing about it was like this. I hate this. I hate this.
It's not Halle Berry's Catwoman.
No. And I haven't seen all of that either.
Me neither.
That's beside the point. Lisa B, December 4th, 2019, 1 star. Waste of time. Horrible acting. Just a bunch of vile crap. Not a well-made and clearly cheap movie. Sounds like I could do that probably like Vince McMahon.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
A waste of time. Horrible acting. Just a bunch of vile crap.
You're fired.
Not a well-made and clearly cheap movie. We make movies. Ian Gonzalez on September 6, 2020, 1 star, bad. I don't ever write reviews, but I hated this movie.
So I had to.
Still, House of Thousand Corpses rules.
Okay. All caps on rules? Or just exclamation?
Just an exclamation point.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Jeff/Rowena Holt. Maybe it's
it's a joint account.
Yeah. Definitely the sign of a stable relationship when your Amazon account is a shared account. Who are you fucking with on Amazon, dirty talker? January 3rd, 2020, Jeff and Rowena Holt say, 1 star, sorry I watched it. Very graphic horror movie, sorry I watched it.
Who's sorry, though, Jeff or Rowena?
I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry I took the movie.
They're divorced now.
Yeah.
Karen, October 26, 2019, 1 star.
Oh.
Devil's Regrets DVD. I'm sure she meant to say rejects, but it's Regects. Devil's Regrets. This movie came on time, however, it wouldn't play. Bogus!
Bonus points for using the word bogus, though.
All in caps, bogus.
Bogus.
Bogus. Brenda, June 12, 2019, 1 star. Did not order this!
You might be... Someone might be
hating
plotting
you
to kill you. Yeah, if Devil's Rejects shows up, most of the time I say be happy, but I'd probably like start locking your windows.
I should move.
Is this a threat?
What are you trying to say? Ammonia too
Copy of
strong?
Devil's Rejects and like a soap on a rope show up? Like,
I'm definitely
I don't know.
moving. This is impressive. On November 26, 2013, the entire state of Florida says 1 star. Not my type of movie. Sorry.
That ain't my brand. I like oatmeal. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I did not care for this movie. I had a friend at the house. He wanted to watch this movie. He liked it. As a woman, for me, not so much. So the state of Florida is a woman.
Grabbing at those oranges.
Yeah. Rondell Del Branch, September 14, 2016, 1 star. Horrible condition. Disc was not even in the case.
Just got a busted up case.
I feel that is the real Devil's Rejects experience DVD there.
Got the fucking at a yard sale at a trailer park. It's just fucking...
You crack open the case and just sand falls out of the case.
Yeah. It's all like sticky from like baby food. And it's like hair stuck in it and shit.
Yep.
Ugh.
Henry Begatol, Henry whatever. April 26, 2015, 1 star, strictly porn. This movie should be rated XXX. And as porno. Should not be sold to anyone with a child.
These people, man. Like, I get that it's, gratuitous. But in the grand scheme of things, this ain't that, like, we've seen a billion times worse, like, sexual content in just over-the-counter normal movies. Like, Basic Instinct, is in a $5 bin Walmart DVD, and it's like
Yeah,
worse than this, really. You know.
this lady was like, you want to buy the Devil's Rejects, and you got to sign these consent forms. You have a child, I see. You're outlawed from buying this film.
Comes with like a barf bag, and like you gotta be put on a watch list, and like all this stuff.
Now, smile for the camera photo. Put on the weird
You're now-
website. Henry's
You're in the
website.
file.
Yep. And to rapid fire round out the 1 stars, here's just three quick ones from Michael. 1 star, December 18th, 2016, boring. Rondell makes a return on December 17th, 2016, 1 star, disturbing. And G-Man on January 12th, 2017, 1 star, garbage.
Fucking Elliot Ness himself, man.
Garbage, disturbing, boring. Boring, disturbing, garbage.
Boring doesn't work for me because I never,
Ooh.
when I'm watching that movie, I never feel bored.
Yeah, I've definitely had confusion.
There's a litany of emotions. Boredom is never one of them.
Yep. You can definitely, like, that's the best positive spin I could say. Like, I was not bored. Disgusted at times, confused, laughing at others.
But you can't look away.
I was certainly not bored.
It's like rolling past an 18-wheeler that smashed a lady on the highway. You go through all those emotions, but you can't look away.
Truth.
Well, now that we're done with the Amazon 1-star reviews, Evil, what does that mean?
Time to play the game.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
It's all about the game and how you play it. Son, if you say another derogatory word about Elvis or pressing my presence again, I will kick the living shit out of you.
Get this Hollywood-loving pussy out of my face.
Quiet down, son. That man's a national treasure.
Crocodile Dundee.
Son, look around. Would I be surprised? Wrong movie. But that's right. It is time to play the game. And if you're new here, welcome. But you're probably scratching your head asking yourself, what is the game? Well, the game is a deep cut in and of itself where you got to pick a prop from the movie that we are covering, but it can't be a well-known prop. And since we're covering Devil's Rejects, I really still am struggling with what would be a well-known prop. Just pick something. Let us know. Discord, on the comments on this, Patreon, YouTube, Facebook.
Somewhere. Anywhere.
Wherever. Somewhere over the rainbow.
Shout it.
Let us know.
Shout it from the rooftop.
We'll probably hear you.
Yep.
I'll call you.
Yep.
I think I went first 2 weeks ago, Evil. So I'm gonna serve the ball to you and let you pick first.
I'm gonna take the shotgun that Otis passes Sid, which I heard was a impromptu move from Bill Moseley as a sign of like, here you're the tip top dog here, because it's been the feud between the two on who's in charge in here. But I guess that was his idea, to pass the shotgun, the big gun, to Sid. Be like,
at the end in the shootout.
Yeah, the passing of the torch of like, you're the top dog. Which apparently when he fired that shotgun, because it wasn't playing for that way, it fucked up Sherry Moon Zombie's hearing for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that in the making of. She's like, nope, we got to stop. I can't hear.
What? We gotta do another shot, Sherry. What?
How many times I gotta tell you? Stop shooting that next to my ear. You've seen Black Hawk Down, right?
Once.
Yeah, that happens in Black Hawk Down. They keep shooting next. You gotta stop shooting next to me. I think I'm going deaf. Then he does it again. He's like, ah.
And it's like going stone cold with it. It's like, I need the shotgun.
What?
12 rounds.
What?
6-shooter.
What?
A revolver.
What?
A Mac Militant.
What?
Nightsticks.
What?
Handcuffs. Non-lethal rounds.
Yeah, shoot a beanbag at Johnny Knoxville's belly button.
Rocket power grenades.
It's interesting that you picked a shotgun, because my prop that I was and I thought we were going to pick the same one is Ken Foree's water pistol shotgun.
If I was going to take something from Ken Foree, it'd be his bowler hat.
Yeah, that's a good one. So if you're gonna if we say I can't have a shotgun because you took a shotgun, my other pick is going to be Michael Berryman's apron when he's vacuuming, which is probably my all-time favorite scene in this movie. We didn't even bring it up. I just love that because he has a very distinct look. If you don't know Michael Berryman, and
everybody knows Michael Berryman. If you don't know his name, you've seen him.
Mm-hmm. And he looks violent,
wrinkly,
and that's the thing too about Rob Zombie. He has a lot of fun with stuff like that, taking a character who's known for playing one archetype, and then casting them in something completely different. And Michael Berryman is not threatening in the least in this movie. He's comic relief. He's very funny. And I love that sequence when he's vacuuming and he's got that like pink frilly robe on or whatever that is, that apron.
And again, the furthest guy from anything he's ever portrayed in real life. Like, such a nice guy, and like his Instagram posts and Facebook posts, he's just posting like pictures of butterflies. And
wholesome.
Shit. Yeah.
So
dogs.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, someone out there who's listening probably knows. So, like Dolph Lundgren, he's like a rocket scientist. Like Dolph Lundgren in real life is a wicked smart dude. I feel like Michael Berryman is not like Dolph Lundgren level, but like very, very smart. Like some kind of degrees in something like
parapsychology,
like something science related. I could be wrong, but
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Also very soft-spoken, nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
The guy that would give you an autograph as opposed to charge for one.
Yeah, super sweet. But, I got to have his apron because, man, droids, boss, they're called droids.
Kills it.
All those nerds want to fuck Princess Leia, right? I'd fuck her.
Yeah, she's onto something there.
Yep. Absolutely. So that's my prop. It's odd, different. Maybe some of those big 10-penny nails that
Jesus,
are
those railroad spikes
that they nail them to the chair with. Maybe those would be kind of rad to have laying around.
The staple gun.
Is this Tommy Dreamer's staple gun? Whose staple gun is this?
I don't know, but I'm sure someone in Philadelphia was missing a staple gun that week.
Oh, Lord. Well, I suppose we should probably get going because, after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
Just in case anyone's interested, I think I'm going to be wanting some ice cream in about 10 miles.